So today, guys, I will be not taking my schizo meds to finally answer the question of, can schizophrenia make games any better? How can an imaginary friend or a foe elevate the experience beyond our understanding? Darling, would you hold this for me? Thank you. By the way, ladies, did I tell you I got platinum in Dark Souls 3, and also I don't use Mega Knight in my deck? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Out of all the colorful variations of mental disorder, there's only one that media likes to cling on to. The wonderful yet dangerous world of schizophrenia. Wow! And out of all the entertainment medium, in my opinion, the imaginary voice in the head works best in an interactive environment like gaming. Among the best narrative games, there's always one thing in common: a very well-written companion that the main character can bounce off and have a conversation with. Take Last of Us 1, for example. Joe and Ellie. One, grumpy as hell, hardcore survivor, bust a kneecap. One, still innocent, joyful, kinda lesbian. I could watch these two characters yap about anything and it never gets old. Nathan, Sully, I don't know, Kratos and Mimir, Marcus Phoenix and Jake the dog. These games usually pair the main protagonist with somebody completely different than them. In this way, they can give two different perspectives on the same world, and it gives and opens up many narrative and world building opportunities. But what if the main character cannot be with someone? Either for narrative reasons or budget, or I don't know, maybe the heels are kind of silent. Get it? They get it. Well, you've got few options then. They can either self-monologue, which usually never goes anywhere and doesn't work out, and dare I say the C word, it's kinda cringe.
Just move shit with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic.
Or they can just not say anything for 10 hours straight until the next cutscene, or you could just straight up be a Souls protagonist, which just doesn't talk, you know. So what? I made a decision to just destroy the world. I got nothing to say, man. Just aura farming at this point. But there's the smarter choice that you could give them a companion that is always stuck to them in the form of a talking head or a doll man or a talking gun or whatever. There's just this one narrative problem or obstacle that most of the time these companions are either your friends, or at least they kind of share the same goal as you, or at least it should make sense in the story standpoint, which in my opinion Last of Us 2 suffered the most, which they replaced Joel with Jesse, which they are nowhere near as interesting as the conversation between Ellie and Joel. But if we elevate this one step further and elevate it into a schizo companion, well, goddamn. Now you got a gold on your hand, dude. It opens many narrative doors that you cannot open any other way. I'm talking Resident Evil 1 doors. Like, all of them opens and some of them don't, and you know what I mean. It creates conflict and intentional friction, which is great for narrative and keeping you engaged in the story, rather than just a companion that just follows you blindly and does whatever you do, like Dina from Last of Us 2. Now, before I go any further, as a responsible YouTuber with many subscribers, I would like to warn you about all these games and movies behind me with a big spoilers. All right. So if you don't want to get spoiled on some of this shit, man, it's just if you're watching till this point, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So all the cool boys and homies and girls and dinosaurs. Let's get to the video. Now, way before gaming, cinema already mastered the art of schizoing all over the place. Or the soap guy, dude. Or the soap guy, oily guy, where's my mind guy. I just want to flex. I play this song. I mean, Billy Butcher, Freddie Mercury, Mr. Robot, Psycho, Dexter, even fucking Stranger Things, man. I don't know, Mr. What's-It and whatever the hell was that last season. What can I say, man? I guess things do be getting strange, you know? Things got a bit strange in the last season. God damn! There's so many examples because this gives writers an endless opportunity of to go, got you, man. It was all in the head all along, man. It gives that sweet plot twist that nobody expects. But in games, schizophrenia isn't just a plot twist device. It can be used for something completely different. Now, there is a game that is an actual schizophrenia simulator, Hellblade. I would give it 10 out of 10 voices in my head. Pretty schizo, pretty good. Second one, not so much. And there are many great games that plays with the idea of kinda schizo, kinda hallucination, all in the head, imaginary type of things, like, I don't know, Alice Madness Returns, or any game that Pyrocynical talks about that is all in the head. But there are two games that for me, they absolutely nailed this concept. Cyberpunk 2077, kinda, and also one of my favorite Batman games, Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah, and I know they don't have schizophrenia in a classical sense. I know that Batman got infected with the Joker blood, and V basically got a terrorist virus from downloading and smiling for an episode from an illegal website. But you get what I mean. For me, still count as kind of schizo. Cyberpunk is an RPG, as in role-playing game, as in my decisions kinda matter. And I say kinda. Shout out to Fallout New Vegas. As I mentioned before, in most of the RPGs, you're either alone, or if you have a companion, you probably want to, fuck them. Shout out to Baldur's Gate 3. But what happens when you get stuck with a very radical, opinionated, rocker boy terrorist in your head that you cannot get rid of? Well, you get this.
An impressive cock.
The great thing about this sort of companion is that they can pop up anywhere and anytime and drop their very opinionated opinion, which affects your decision making as a player in an RPG. Maybe not this one.
Only too willing to spread their legs for you. Sad.
The thing is, you cannot get rid of Johnny Silverhand. You cannot like change your party like Baldur's Gate 3 or like Fallout 4 that you can ditch your companion and do whatever you want because, you know, Piper doesn't like you game-ending children and eating people. But to get that, get your pipe in the Piper, if you know what I mean, you gotta select her only the times when you're not on your demon time. This makes the dynamic between the player, Johnny, and the world pretty unique. He judges your choice, he calls you out, he even helps you and gives you advice, which is actually truthful, and sometimes he just talks straight out of his ass. And as the player, it's up to you to trust his words or your own guts. And as for me, I have a very malleable brain, so anytime somebody disagrees with my choice, I start to doubt myself, which was pretty unique feeling for this game. So having him always drop his banger opinion right before a really devious decision messed with my head and my decision making, which was a pretty unique feeling that I never felt before in an RPG game. Not to mention, there is literally a relationship meter with this parasite in your head that based on how close you are to this character, you get unique missions that you can miss out on. And the funny thing is that you don't even start on good terms and you have to build this relationship. But what happens if you add a sprinkle of schizo in more of a linear narrative game without spoiling all the Batman games, which if you haven't played them, like what the freak are you doing with your life, man? Just pause the video, get the fuck out of here and just buy the game. Probably on Steam, all of the whole Arkham game is gonna cost you 5 pesetas. Go ahead and play them. In Arkham City, Joker infects Batman with his blood, which basically gives you super AIDS, and Brucey starts the transformation to slowly become Joker, which if it played out, we would have gotten Batman Who Laughs, which, wow, look at his design, man, it's metal as hell. Now, most of the time when we get a very well-written villain, we barely see them, which I like to call it the Far Cry syndrome. In the Far Cry series, most of the villains are 30 times more interesting than the main characters themselves. I mean, look at the box art. You don't see the main character, you see the villains. And not to even mention Far Cry 5, which the main character didn't even speak. But after the intro, usually, the game is like, yeah, good luck. You're not gonna see them for the next 5 hours, but until you get to see them for another 3 minutes of cutscene. Good luck. This limitation is usually caused by pacing or narrative problems, which you cannot always spam the villain constantly without making it look forced or taking away their aura. But the imaginary villain slash schizo villain bypasses all of this, which lets the writers go a bit crazy. Go a little bit wild. Go crazy, man. Go crazy. Go wild. They can do whatever the fuck they want. A hallucination version of the villain can be constantly present without breaking the structure of the game. So the game gets to keep the villain's charisma alive between the major story beats. While some people argue about the Arkham Knight's tank mechanics, we cannot deny that Arkham Knight did something extraordinary. They put the complete opposite of Batman in his head. The yin to his yang, the Dante to his Virgil, the Griffith to his guts, the fucking microplastics to my balls, the Joker to his Batman. Literally, they made his infection manifest as Joker himself, popping out throughout the game, even affecting environments at the time with subtle world building, which was insane. Look at the details sometimes. So having Joker constantly popping up and commenting on what you do completely fixes that problem. Like, man, I wish I could see Joker more in this game. Man, I wish I could see the villain more in this game. And also, it fixes the pacing problem, which in the downtime, now Joker pops up and says random stuff, which makes you as a player want to explore and to see what Joker has to say about this, I don't know, a random place in Gotham City. And the great thing about Schizo is it's not just a gimmick. Just like Cyberpunk, the whole game revolves around this concept. Constantly knowing that you have to fight not only the monsters of Gotham City, but also the monster in your head that is slowly taking over, and it has psychological effect on you. This Schizo companion lets a game like Batman explore interactions that was never possible before. Batman by default is a pretty stoic, silent character, or whenever he talks, he's like, "Talk, or I'm gonna break your spinal cord under my Batmobile." Or talk to Gordon and say, "Jimmy, why all the villains from the last game are free again? What the fuck, Jimmy? Jimmy! Mr. Beast!" Dude, I'm losing my mind, dude. I think I'm actually getting schizo. Anyway, that's it for today. And what we learned from this video, I don't know. Schizophrenia is not cool, I guess, in real life, but it's really cool in games, dude. Please do more, gaming industry. Me want imaginary friend in my head. You know a green screen doesn't make you naked jakey, right? Who the fuck are you? The moment you hear my voice, you're gonna start looking for a face. You're talking to yourself again, aren't you? No, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you, sick fuck. You stand in front of a green screen and make some video game essays and suddenly you think you're like naked jakey. You know you're one yoga ball away from identity theft? Might as well just buy the ball, complete the transformation, be a complete copycat, huh? That's enough! Oh, hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop. I was just giving you some criticism, constructive criticism. Listen, you need me. I made you. I am the one who carries you around. You talk to no one in front of the camera. Make it interesting. Stop, hey, stop.